It was an average day for us. We were sitting on quick reaction force. An element north of us came under fire. We were called up to assist. We got out the gate as quick as we could. Again, we can hear the element to the north on the radio, begging for help. So we pushed through and we approached this bridge. I could hear my driver say, "Oh shit." The cab of the truck was full of black smoke. I looked up and I could see the sky through the front windshield. We were flipped like a Tonka toy. I could hear people screaming, I could hear my ears ringing, I can hear my platoon sergeant yelling that the truck's on fire. All I could think about was my daughter back home. And the thought of her growing up without me.
I'm a combat veteran, airborne ranger, master parachutist, and retired after 20 years of active federal service as a lieutenant colonel in and out of special operations units. You've heard people say before, find something that you're passionate about and figure out how to make a career out of it or how to make a difference in the world. As I was retiring, I actually sat down and wrote a short list of things that I was passionate about. And that list is this country, hunting and fishing, believe it or not, and the men and women who get wounded in combat serving our country. And so what I did is I combined all three of those things, and I came up with the Wounded Warriors in Action Foundation. We serve the Purple Heart community regardless of the era of conflict. So you could have earned your Purple Heart in Vietnam, the current 9/11 post-conflict, it doesn't matter. It's really taken off. And I think the reason that it has is very specifically staying true to our mission of providing world-class outdoor sporting activities for our nation's combat wounded. Hunting and fishing serves as an attractor. And I really think that there's something primitive and connected to our human psyche and our well-being that has restorative and healing properties.
This goes to our history as humans. For 95% of our existence on the planet, we have walked across the landscape and hunted and fished and talked about it around campfires. But when Wounded Warriors and Action participants or others involved in outdoor recreation are able to reconnect with that, they're reconnecting to something fundamental within themselves and within their fellows, and that is life, the system around us.
That's the attractor. And then on top of that, we start having these layers, connecting them with each other, connecting them with the great outdoors and people who care.
It's great to be around people with good hearts and just people who appreciate what you did and volunteer their time to just try to make you have a great day and enjoy being out in the woods. It really means a lot.
This organization is run by former military leaders in the same manner that we operated on active duty. That work ethic, that level of precision, and as a result, somewhere in the neighborhood of 90% of every dollar taken in actually goes back to the Purple Heart heroes.
So you start layering these things on top of each other and offer it at no cost to the veteran. You end up with something that's very powerful.
I am so pumped. We're up here in BC right now, bear hunting, crazy, never done anything like this in my life.
The Wounded Warriors in Action Foundation has provided a channel, a pathway for the American sportsmen and women to open their arms, to open their homes, to make their lands accessible, and to say thank you for what you did.
I kept reading in the news about the suicides, the 22 soldiers a day that were committing suicide, and it really bothered me. And I got such a great place up here. I thought, you know what, maybe there's an organization I could send some of these guys up here to share this wonderful country with me, because I really thought that we could help them out.
I've been blessed with a great fishing career, and people want to go fishing with me. I can't take everybody fishing, but I thought of this as a way that I could take some of the most important people fishing and just give back just a little bit to what they've done. There's nothing like it. I've gotten way more from this than I think any of these guys have gotten from me.
We found nothing like Wounded Warriors in Action Foundation. And with my husband Dennis being an avid outdoorsman and sportsman, this was such a great fit for us to try and give back in our own way. But more importantly, it was the mission of the organization and that focus on the Purple Heart, that courage and that hero, and not buying them something, but giving them something. That's what caught our eye.
This is their way of giving back, and sharing their bounty is their way of saying thank you. The foundation could not do its mission without the American sportsman.
When you wear the uniform, you feel like you're somebody. You know, you got a mission, you got a purpose. But when you get out of the military, you don't have an identity.
Every single one of these guys and gals who's been discharged based on their wounds has said the same thing to me repeatedly, and that is that they miss this camaraderie, you know, this idea of being in a close unit. Once they get wounded and discharged, that's gone.
They need something that can connect them back to the reality that they have to face from their deployments.
I wanted to be that career Marine. My injuries didn't let it happen.
And when he came home, he was a different person. He didn't know how to act like a civilian when he came back. He didn't know what he was supposed to do with his life.
For 12 years, I've just basically wondered. I yearned for something, and then this opportunity presented itself.
When he went on his first hunt, he came home and said, "This is what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to be in this, helping these Purple Heart recipients." And after the first hunt, he was changed. It was like he was healing from day one.
That first time I was on an event, it's an experience I'll never forget. They put me back on a team. There's people that I can help support, and there's people that can help support me. It's been a huge part of my life and my recovery to have that team, to fill that void before the foundation.
And that's an important part of the foundation, to continue to serve, continue to have leadership opportunities, continue to connect with veterans who share similar challenges and similar experiences.
It's hard to be a warrior without a mission. It's hard trying to search for something which you had lost. The mindset is the thing that gets you through most of it. Physical wounds we can recover from, but you'll never take the war out of the warrior.
At this table is where magic happens. The table provides a healing environment because it changes the framework of the mind from they won't get it, they're not going to understand it, to you know what? I'm now sitting at a table where somebody else has been through exactly what I've been through. They won't judge me for how I feel or how I act.
I play through it every day. You gotta take a step back and you just gotta say, why does some of these things freaking happen? We can go south really fast, or we can turn this into something positive.
I've seen the positive work of this foundation through many different warriors. I was in a really bad place. I was dealing with the darkness, and this brought the light back.
This is the real deal. This is changing people's lives.
But what happens in the future? What does the horizon look like? We're leaning in the direction of an outdoor university. The Wounded Warriors in Action Foundation's Guide School is one piece of that. The world's first multidisciplinary guide school for Purple Heart recipients. The space that we're in is fairly delicate space at times. So we're equipping them with tools that help them connect with veterans and guide them peer-to-peer, coaching, teaching, mentoring for those that have injuries, all with an adaptive twist. But from here, there's lots of other educational experiences, field activities, and things that will help them not just support the foundation, but also provide them employment opportunities in the future. The results of what we do culminate in a weekend of hunting or fishing. But how could a weekend of hunting or fishing change a person's life? That's a very good question, but that is one of the themes that we see consistently. And I've even been told that the foundation saved their life. Men who've personally looked me in the eyeball and said, "You saved my life." That's some heavy stuff, but it's true. And regardless of where you stand in the political spectrum, you just gotta love those that are willing to go to foreign soil and bleed for this country and bleed for the cause of freedom.
I have never, ever understood the courage that it takes to look me in the eye and say, you know what? If they would let me go back, I would go back and do it again. And it's that courage that absolutely deserves commitment. This is the most important thing we've ever done in our lives.
The Wounded Warriors in Action has been such a pivotal point in my life and such a changing force that I've joined the team. The experiences that I've shared with these guys and the friendships that I've made along my way with the foundation have changed my life in ways that I can never describe.
Be proud of who you were, be proud of what you did, and find your new identity. It's time to pay it forward. It's time to give back.
Not until John became a part of the Wounded Warriors in Action did I feel like I had the old John back.
Just to get to help some guys along their healing process is mind-blowing. It's just such a blessing.
There's multitude of benefits to coming out here and taking the leap of faith. The Wounded Warrior part is easy. It's the inaction part that makes all the difference.